It's August 18th, 5:32 p.m. I didn't intend to record a video blog about this, but I watched X-Men Origins Wolverine. Um, I don't know, maybe 2, 3 this morning, and my God, it was truly awful. The bad reviews were too nice. Let's see. Like I said, I didn't plan on this, so I didn't make any notes as I was going. And I can't remember the turdiness of it all. But first thing I realized is the movie totally contradicts the movie continuity, not to mention screwing up the comic book continuity even more than it already was with the Origins event comic that finally sheds light on just who Wolverine really is, which was a disaster, and this movie was a disaster. Okay, I'm pretty sure this was a big budget movie, 75 to $100 million, but it just doesn't play big. I mean, the special effects don't look cheap all the time, so to speak, but man, the set pieces were so snore worthy. The uses of Wolverine's claws, or just sticking them in the ground all the time and using them to turn and jumping on the helicopters, and you know, it was bad. It was bad. The opening was hella lame. Um, the jump in time periods that look cheap. It makes me think that did they actually just shoot this to have 5 seconds of him on the beach in Normandy, 5 seconds here, and a 10 seconds in a Civil War, and a minute in Vietnam? I mean, was there supposed to be more? That it was just so bad that they cut that. The beach scene at Normandy, ever since Saving Private Ryan, everything's been compared to that as far as, putting you right in action, the bullets going by your head and people getting legs shot off and all that kind of crap. You don't have to worry about that. Thinking about how it compares to Saving Private Ryan, because it doesn't. It's terrible. I guess it was just terribly shot, or I don't know what else. The whole Weapon X session was bad, bad, bad. The team in the comics, from what I can remember, was much, much better. Um, I can't even remember what Maverick's real name was. Was that who the lame Asian guy was supposed to be? Wasn't Silver Fox in the old Weapon X program the Blob and Deadpool? I know Deadpool came from Weapon X, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't on the team. That could have changed since I started reading, Wolverine and Deadpool. But the Blob? Yeah, and when he shows up later, oh my god, what a waste of that actor. I actually like that actor. The whole operation in Africa was terrible. I mean, God, I hate talking about like directing. Like, it was terribly staged and lit and everything, because it's like, I'm not a director. I don't know what the fuck all that shit does and everything. But that looked kind of cheap. And the way they used their powers to get in was stupid. I mean, if you got all these powers, I mean, the dude that I can't remember what the dude's names. The dude's name who teleports. He was actually pretty badass in the comic, but they played him by Will.I.am in here, which was terrible. What is Will.I.am, like 5 foot nothing? He looks really ridiculous. And the lame Asian guy who might be whoever he is, it's like they tried to make him look cool with what he was doing, but it just makes him look like this team. Why are they a team? If you're so good to do this by yourself, what do you need the other guys for? And your powers are, it's just ridiculous. I mean, he's jumping over and shooting backwards and all this kind of crap to get past one portion. Then they say, okay, now we have another guy with power, so we need to use him. My God, was Deadpool, Wade, Wade Deadpool, same guy, but Wade as Ryan Reynolds, God, that was terrible. I felt bad for Ryan Reynolds. I mean, the way, he had a couple of one-liners or whatever, but like, it seemed forced because he really hadn't said that much. But the whole thing was, oh, don't you ever shut up? But it's like, I get the point that this takes place after we've been together for a while, but it just read wrong. And then when he gets in there, you know, they got Dominic Monaghan doing the telepathy, whatever the hell he was doing. I can't remember what it's called. Doing that thing. He was lame. He died lame too. And you've got Sabretooth as a part of Weapon X now? Huh? And then they get into the thing, and Deadpool goes in to kill the guy, and it's all these people with guns, and then he's got his two swords, and he's spinning them so fast that the bullets are clanking off, and then he slices a bullet in half and kills two people with it. That's supposed to be cool, but it looked awful. It just looks stupid. So, and then the thing where they go to the village to find out where the adamantium came from, and then it's like Wolverine quits. It's just so stupid. And then it's like you keep waiting for when is he gonna end up in Weapon X and get the adamantium in it? But it's like all these false stars, and then he ends up with this chick that might be the name of the real Silver Fox, and the way she gets killed is lame. The whole thing with Sabretooth running and his claws, and it's just bad. And then the thing where when he's at Weapon X, it looked way better in X-Men, the X-Men movie or X-Men 2 or whatever. And then he escapes and he's running naked, and the old folks was just mad. It's like, old folks, really? They would have shot him. I mean, the thing with the motorcycle and the jacket, and then he gets shot by the fake Maverick, aka lame Asian guy, was just bad. The whole thing with jumping onto the helicopters and using his claws to slice everything was just, ugh. Yeah, it's just so much more I can't remember. Oh, Deadpool got hoed bad. And I'm glad they were talking about if they were going to make a Deadpool movie, they were going to ignore that. They're going to say it wasn't him, but it was him. But giving him all these powers, giving him the katanas coming out of his wrist, and the Cyclops' eye beams, and the other dude's teleporting thing, it's just like, oh my god. The way he gets killed, it's like it's supposed to be cool that he can teleport around Sabretooth and Wolverine, but it just looks stupid. And then they want to include Cyclops as a kid, and Gamma and Emma Frost for some unknown reason. Is this just a toy grab or what? Because, like, once again, haven't read X-Men comics in quite a while, and I was always more Wolverine guy anyway, but I'm pretty sure Cyclops didn't have anything to do with that back in the day. Neither did Emma Frost, or was it Gambit? Gambit? How out of the blue is that? Oh, we want to have Gambit in one of the X-Men movies, but we couldn't figure out how to put him in it, so we're going to put a lame-ass Gambit in a prequel movie. Oh, God. And you kept wondering, how are they going to figure out how to make him lose his memory so it could kind of fit in with the movie continuity? Now, in the movie, I could have sworn in like the first Wolverine, I mean, his first X-Men or second X-Men, they just showed like the regular old Wolverine generic escape from a Weapon X facility at whatever lake, and then he's running through naked, and then he ends up wandering whatever for however long. But in this one, he escapes, but then he ends up with the old people. But then he does some other fighting. Then he goes back with Stryker. Then he's a mad Stryker. Then all this other shit happens. And then to get around the whole point of, hey, he's not supposed to have any memory when he shows up in the first movie. Adamantium bullets. Oh my lord. Adamantium bullets. Dude's got a revolver with 6 shots of adamantium bullets. I really should go. I would, because I could be totally wrong on this, but I'm not going to do it because the movie sucks too much. I could go back and count the number of shots he used. Did he use more than 5 or 6 shots? Because he shot Wolverine like in the shoulder and something else a couple times, and he missed a couple, and then he shot him 2 or 3 more times. No, 2 or 3 times 2 times at least in the head. Then he walks over to Silver Fox and shoots her. But adamantium bullets. This is just stupid. He's like, oh, the only way to kill him, no, it's not going to kill him. The only way to make him lose his memory is to shoot him in his head with adamantium bullets, because the adamantium will go through the adamantium and get to his brain and scramble his brain. It'll grow back, but he won't have any memory. That is just stupid. So, I mean, the movie was god awful, but it's Wolverine. Wolverine used to be was like my favorite character for a long time. I wasn't an X Men fan so much as I was a Wolverine fan back in like 1990 to whatever. But awful, awful, awful. I don't know. I want to blame Gavin Hood because he's the director and there was so much whatever going on the set, and maybe he got the cut taken away from him. But whoever wrote this, or it must have been like multiple people writing this, and they must have recut this and tried to make polish this turd up, cut this out, add this, cut this out to make it okay. But that movie was awful. It just, I mean, it makes X Men 3 look like a masterpiece. It's that bad. It's like, it's Wolverine for Christ's sakes. The best fucking well, my favorite X Men. The easiest X Men. You got Hugh Jackman, who's built up a lot of goodwill with the first movie. Even though he's way too big, but whatever, we're not gonna get into that. But it's like he had to know this was utter shit when he was shooting it, and maybe his contract wouldn't allow him to, or he's too nice of a guy. But I would have never made this movie. Maybe it's a big paycheck. You figure that the X-Men franchise has so much goodwill that you'll make a lot of money no matter how shitty it is. But this movie was shitty. It never should have been released. It was that bad. It's like, there are some bad movies that you watch that are so bad they're good. Or you might see a bad movie that's so bad you can't finish it. But this is a bad movie that you just kept like, huh? What? This is stupid. What? And you couldn't turn away. It was that bad. It was so bad. It was really, really bad. So bad that it like lulled you into this, like, it like paralyzed you that you couldn't turn it off because it was so bad. So that's my really shitty review of X-Men Origins Wolverine. Poor Deadpool, poor Wolverine. He deserved better.